So today we're going to look at Engagers 5 and 6. These are quite quick tasks. Engager 5 dovetails into what you should have covered in art during year 7, and it's a basic colour wheel. Effectively, when we're looking at a colour wheel, we're looking at the prime colours, so we'll be looking at yellow, we'll be looking at red, and we'll be looking at blue. Now, if we mix yellow and red together, we would create orange. If we mixed red and blue together, we'd create purple. And if we then obviously mix blue, yellow together, this will create green. So the first task you need to do is get the corresponding colours. And we're simply just going to shade in the sections of the colour wheel. So it's fairly straightforward as a task. Shouldn't really involve much thought. In fact, the biggest challenge you'll probably have is finding the correct colours. So we're just going to shade those in. The other thing I do want to look at with this task is slightly different, which is contrasting colours and harmonious colours. Now, contrasting colours are the colours that will be found directly across the colour wheel from the original colour that you're looking at. So, for instance, red and green are opposite each other in the colour wheel, and therefore these will be termed as being contrasting colours. Harmonious colours are the colours that are found either side. So, orange and red are harmonious, red and purple are harmonious. And around the outside, what I want you to do is just pop in the contrasting colours. So you would have on the outside section here, red, green, so you're literally looking straight across the wheel. For blue, you would have the orange, and eventually it should build you up a colour wheel, something like this. So that's task 5, fairly straightforward, building up the colour wheel. The next task we're going to look at is task 6, which is looking at the 4 main different types of 3D drawing styles. It's a bit of an odd one, this one, because one of them isn't a true 3D drawing style. First one we're going to have a look at is oblique. Now, if an object is one-dimensional, it will just have one plane. If it becomes two-dimensional, it moves 2 planes. If it becomes three-dimensional, it becomes 3 planes. So you would have X, Y, and Z plane. Oblique is a bit of a cheat in that regard, in that you draw a 2D object, and then from there you effectively project it backwards. So it's a bit of a cheat because it's only correct in 2 dimensions. Isometric is the most accurate type of 3D drawing, and it should run at 30 degrees to either side in the Y and Z, and the vertical line should be at 90 degrees. So that is a true 3D drawing. The other 2 styles we're going to look at are one-point perspective, where similar to oblique, items are drawn, but they have 1 point of perspective. So they actually shrink into the distance. And we should have looked at that last week in the drawing activity. The last one we're going to look at is what's called 2D perspective, where we have a horizon line, 2 vanishing points, and then we have an item that we're going to draw in the middle. So we're just going to draw a leading edge for a start, but then draw some faint lines running off to the vanishing point, faint lines running off to the vanishing point again. Then from there we're going to work out where the sides of the box are, and we're going to again draw across to the vanishing points. And then from there we can actually pick out our full shape, which should look like it's coming off the page towards you. So those are the 4 main drawing styles. So we have oblique, which is a 2D drawing style with some projection of 3D, isometric, which is true 3D, 1 point perspective, which makes items look like they're vanishing off into the distance to 1 point, for instance like a train line disappearing, or 2 point perspective, which is where we've got 2 vanishing points. And that concludes today's Engagers.